knowledge? How much have you grown in terms of in terms of income? Yes, how much have you grown in terms of knowledge? Because as the crypto ambassadors, we have consistently and concurrently been able to have a consistent information pandagua. So we make sure that hey, every day we come in here to fill you with good information that has the power to completely give you that ability and power, yes, to have consistent, regular, repeated income. Yes, that's why we are here today to continue with our mission of providing knowledge, yes, that can allow people have regular, repeated, recurring income. And so I want to welcome you basically to this call because it's gonna be one of the best you have ever attended, especially people who are new into the crypto market space. It's gonna be one of the best, yes, that you can be able to yes to attend. Yes, yes, yes. All right, all right. Are we ready? Let me know. Give me a one in the chat if you are ready for today's class. Because from this side in the Pearl of Africa in Masaka City, we are already ready to break the yoke out of the gist with this super ponteric information that has the power to give money. Yes, yes, yes. We are overrated. Overrated. And today it's a Friday, and I'll be doing a special class at 10 a.m. East Africa Standard Time. Yes, I'll be doing a special lesson. Yes, how you can make money all the time. The power of margin calls. Yes, 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 yes. And I'm looking through to have some people as guests call for today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without wasting any contanic minute, let me just share my screen. Let me just share my screen. And I'm going to start with the notes because I have already said that I have a theme that says that note takers, that are action takers, are money makers. Yes, exactly. Why, Julius? Because people who take notes and take action make money. You know, what we deal with here is pure information that once you take action about it, you make money. So make sure you have somewhere to note. Why? Because note takers, note takers, note takers that are action takers, that are action takers, note takers, that are action takers, note takers, that are action takers, are money makers. Yes, note takers, that are action takers, are money makers. So when you take notes and do not take action, you don't make money. When you don't take notes and pretend that you take action, you don't make money. You must be able to do the three. You take notes, then you take action, then you make money. All right, let's go. Today, we are yet back again to the moving averages. Yes, the moving averages. The moving averages. Yes, then we go practical. The moving averages. Friends, the day I learned about the moving averages, even my blood changed the way it flows because I was able to ascertain. I was able to ascertain using the moving averages to know whether the market, moving averages will help you know whether the market is on an uptrend. Moving averages will help you to know whether the market is on a downward trend. Because there is a major statement that I say, why this friends, not this. And this statement of mine says, the market is not our friend. 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 Yes, the market is not our friend, but the trend. but the market trend. But the market trend. But the market trend is our friend. So it is, if we are able to tell the trend of the market, if we are able to tell the trend of the market, then friends, the market trend can be our friend, but the market is never our friend. And so, crampatically, the moving averages, what I mean, the moving averages can help us. The moving averages can help us know whether the market is on an uptrend, whether the market is on a downward trend. If you don't understand the two, when we talk about an uptrend, it means that the market is forming consistent. The market, let me say the market starts from here, goes up, goes up, goes up, goes up. It forms what we call consistent. Maybe it started from a lower low, and it forms what we call a higher high. From a higher high, it forms a lower high. From a lower high, it forms a higher high. From a higher high, it forms a lower high. No, this is not right. Am I okay? No. This is not a lower. No, from a lower low, it forms a higher high. From a higher high, it forms a higher low. All right. So it forms a higher low. It is a low from the high. So it is a low from a high. So when the market continues to form what we call higher lows and higher highs consistently, then we say a market is on an uptrend. Vis-a-vis, when the market is on a downward trend, maybe the market started from this highest point, then it formed the lowest point, then it continues to move now on a downward movement. We shall consistently say the market moved from a higher high and formed a lower low, and it is consistently forming lower lows and lower highs. Yes, lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs. And when you draw a line above the candles, you see the market is on a downtrend. And when you draw the line below the candles, you see that the market is on an uptrend. Basically, we can use moving averages, like I'm going to show you, to show us that. Two, moving averages can act as support and resistance. Moving averages can act as support and resistance. Okay, I usually define support as a flow. Support is as a flow, and resistance is like a ceiling. Yes, support is as a flow, and resistance is as a ceiling. Namu choir, namu. Let me draw my namu choir. Namu choir is standing on the floor. Namu choir is standing on the floor. Namu choir is standing on the floor. So it means when Namu is standing on the floor, Namu choir is being supported. Namu choir is being supported. When Namu tries to jump to the ceiling and she fails to penetrate the ceiling, Namu choir has been resisted. Namu choir has been resisted, and this is what we call resistance. If Namu choir breaks the ceiling, then the resistance becomes the support, and then Namu choir finds the second level. So that is what we call support and resistance. So moving averages can help us to know whether the market, because anything that has a price, if Namu choir is $500, if Namu choir's price is $500, we can usually monitor how Namu choir is being bought and sold on a chart. And that is represented by what we call candles. Anything that has a price can be monitored. So if Namu choir says she has a certain price, yes, Namu choir says she has a certain price. Then we bring in candles and we see how Namu choir is being bought and how Namu choir is being sold in the market. Yes, how Namu choir is being bought and how Namu choir is being sold in the market. So the average, now we are bringing in moving averages. The average of how Namukwaya is being bought either by the simple moving averages that uses the close of the candles, or the exponential moving averages that combine both the current and the past performance of the candles could help us see if the candles are forming below our moving average. It means that the market is being resisted. The market is being resisted. If candles are forming below, they are above our moving average, then we say the market is being supported. That's how we use support and resistance. Perfectly and purely, ladies and gentlemen, moving averages are like an elastic band. Moving averages are like an elastic band. They are like an elastic band. When the market continues going up, they elastically follow the journey. So, if the market is forming above a moving average, then we say that the market is being supported. Look here. If it is a moving average of 5, if it is the moving average of 5, then when candles are forming above a moving average of 5, then we say the market is being supported on a short term. This will be a short term. Whether it is a moving average of 7, of 5, or of 7, or of 8, any. By the way, or of 10, it means that the market is being supported in a shorter time frame, as simple as eating bijanjalo. Okay, so if it goes below, if the market goes below, then it means that if candles continue to form below this one, it means now the market is being resisted on that side. Now, there are two important points on moving averages. And one is what we call a death cross. This is very common when it comes to moving averages, and it's called a death cross. A death cross. You know, how many of us are on the call and you studied about zebra crossing? How many of us are on the call and you studied about zebra crossing? Let me see. How many of us are on the call and you studied about zebra crossing? People are saying English is Englishing today. How many of us you studied about zebra crossing? Yes, zebra crossing. Zebra crossing. I see zebra crossing. Zebra crossing. Now someone is saying we lost our money in those things. How did you lose yet when you find it on the road, you know it is a zebra crossing? How did you lose? Yet when you go to the road, you know it is a zebra crossing. How did you lose, surely? Because I've seen someone who says, my teacher, I want my money back. I want my money back. Because you have now started to study money making classes. And you see me, I teach this one for free. You see, Robert is saying, I need my school fees back. Robert, if you need your school fees, I'm also might request you for school fees here. Coach Lucas says, we are not zebras. Okay, so the zebra crossing was meant for zebras. Okay, good. No, but I think the reason why it was called zebra because it has colors that are black and white like a zebra. So Lucas, that was a joke. But then let's get to the death clause. If I had my script. Let me stop there because if people want to pay school fees now, my charges are very high. Now let's start with a death clause. A death clause is when a big moving average follow closely now, a big moving average crosses above a small moving average. For example, I will use the first two major moving averages I love. Let me say Black, where are you? Let me say, this line here is a 20 moving average. And then as the 20 moving average was there, a 200 moving average crossed a 20 moving average. This cross of the big moving average crossing a small moving average is what we call a death cross. If you have understood a death cross, this will go back still to lower moving averages. Like, for example, you know, when you write this, people get scared. For example, it goes back everywhere. Let me say this was a 5 moving average, maybe an exponential moving average. And then as it was moving, it was crossed by a 10 moving average, exponential moving average. This cross is called a death cross. It happens over and over and over. So it is simple. When a big moving average crosses a small moving average, this is called a death cross. Give me a one in the chart. Then I go to a golden cross. Then we are able to understand and come to the end our lesson in a practical methodology way. You see, I went to school and I studied a lot of terminologies. I studied the anatomy and physiology of a human being. You see, I'm very good when it comes to the human body. I can tell you everything you have on your body. I can tell you every body part, and I go into details. 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 And I can go into details 100%. I can tell the anatomy of a human being. And when I dig down into the, you learn about germapology. Now, some of you are copying the terminologies. The English I'm using is into my DNA. The English is into my DNA. My grandfather was a professor in the English language. So let's go to the Golden Cross. Let's go to the Golden Cross. A Golden Cross is when a small moving average. A Golden Cross is when a small moving average crosses a big moving average. Okay? A big moving average. What do I mean by this simple? I'll use the blue or green. Okay, this is let me say this is let me say this is a 200. This is a 200 moving average. It was moving as it was there. Then a 55 moving average crosses this, whereby this small moving average crosses a big moving average. This is called a golden cross. And this is where money is made. This is where money is made. Now, the strategy here is simple. Okay? The strategy here is simple. For example, if I'm trading, now I'm going to support and resistance. Support vis-a-vis resistance. Vis-a-vis resistance. Okay? And let me say, I have my best combination of my moving averages, and I use 5 of them. I use the Fibonacci that I described, and I usually use the 8 moving average, the 13, the 21, the 55, and the 200. So in this order, if this one is below, like this in this order, this coin is on an uptrend. Vis-a-vis, when it is now 200, then followed by 55, then followed by 21, then followed by 13, then followed by 8. This coin is on a downtrend. So this gets into all other aspects. If you are using, for example, let me use multiples of 5. If this is a 5 moving average, if this is a 5 moving average, and this is a 10, this is a 20, this is a 30, this is a 40, it means that this coin is on an uptrend. Versa V, this side still, Versa V, this side still, Versa V, this side, if someone is using multiples of 5, and then things are upside. This is a 5, this is a 10, this is a 20, this is a 30, this is a 40. It means this coin is on a downtrend. Okay. Now, how do we use moving averages to trade? Moving averages, to use them, it is simple. We enter at a golden cross. We enter at a golden cross and exit at a death cross. Like I'm going to show you in the chart. This strategy is good. One, it prevents area selling. It prevents area selling. You don't sell early. It helps you maximize profit. Okay? Enables you maximize profit. So let's go practical. I think I'm done with the theory. Yes, I think I'm done with the theory. So we enter at the golden cross and sell the death cross. So, okay. So when you are doing in a smaller time frame, like 15 minutes, you are doing in a smaller time frame, like 30 minutes, you are doing scalping. Okay, you want to take profits. You enter and move out, enter and move out, enter and move out. Now we are ready. How many are ready for the chemistry practical? How many are now ready for the chemistry practical? How many are now ready for the chemistry practical? Now we are going into the chemistry practical, the chemistry, the physics practical, chemistry. Now, you see people are about to run away. Don't bring chemistry here. I was not able to succeed in chemistry. For me, you see, chemistry was one of my bad subjects. Had I known me, I wouldn't have started chemistry. Chemistry is very bad. We fear chemistry. I fear practical. I fear physics. Oh, no. Let me run away. But we are going in practicals. Now, some are saying, bring agriculture. You see, yesterday, there is someone who stood somewhere, one political conference in Uganda, and you see, I have grown maize. Someone was somewhere in an agriculture practical, but it was theoretical. And he said, you see, I have grown maize. And every 1 acre, I collect 2 million Ugandan shillings. And people are still calculating how someone in every acre, he collects maize worth 2 million Ugandan shillings. And the guy's eyes were very wide naked. And the practical was not theoretically calculative. So even the president, can you, pardon, you said you get how much per acre? And the thing was not adding up. So let's, you see, some people can over-exaggerate things until they want you to buy into a rotten idea. But let us not go political. Let us remain marketical. Let us not enter agricultural, and let us stay here in marketical, where we talk about things that are, this is where, just a minute, this is where we discuss living things. This is where now living things become living things. But the other side, things are not living. Someone tells you how you can become rich. how you can become a millionaire in just a blink of one eye. Then you try to think about it. You think about it. Your grandfather was an agriculturist. Your grand was an agriculturist. Until today, they are still struggling financially because they did not bring a maize in the market. But I'm not fighting any agricultural ideas here. Me, I'm just never take my jokes seriously. If you can see my screen now, a one in the chat. If you can see my screen now, a one in the chat. And I'm also at the same time practically bangwarically dropping you signals. Yes, as I get the chat clear, I'm also bangwarically dropping you a signal so that you can move into the market at the same time when you are learning new knowledge. So my trading view is loading. At the same time, I've made sure that on all our social media platforms, our signal of the price this morning is practically getting your availability of the banquet. Okay, so let's now get at Bitcoin. Today we are going to be specifically on Bitcoin. Yes, one of the things I told you that Bitcoin is on an up. And why do we discuss and say that cryptocurrencies, they're on an uptrend and are very soon going to start reaping what we saw, and I'm going to look at it in one day so that I tell you when we started the uptrend, so that I don't leave any mangwana on our call this morning. So I'm just trying to clear my chart to make sure that everything is okay, and then I bring in my moving averages. We are on the 1 day time frame. Let me make sure my chart is white and full in the screen. And this is the chart of Bitcoin. This is the performance of one of the major cryptocurrencies in the market, and it's called the Bitcoin. And I'm looking at 1 day time frame, like you can be able to see. And we are going to introduce exponential moving averages. So I'll tap on this arrow here, sorry, here, and then I will tap on technical, and I'm going to see exponential, and it comes exponential. This is exponential moving average. Convergence and divergence is not what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for moving average as exponential. I'll tap it on the first time, and then I will tap on it the second time. Okay. Having done that, I hope you can see the indicator appearing on my screen there in the corner. And so I will tap on the name of the indicator, tap on the settings, okay? And this time around on the length, we are going to use a 20 moving average. And instead of it being a simple moving average, we are going to use what we call an exponential moving average. And that is all. Then we are going to come on the style and give our line a good color. Blue is always a very nice color, but we are just going to increase our thickness so that it becomes much more easy. Okay, so the blue line in my chart is basically a 20 exponential moving average. Okay, so we are going to come on the second one here and tap on the setting icon. We are going to change this color to orange. Orange is usually one of my best colors. Give it also a nice thickness. Yes, give it a better or a bigger thickness just for learning purposes for today. And then we are going to turn it into a 200 average. 200, not a simple, but an exponential average. And then we press OK. Now we are going to look for the golden cross. We are going to look for the golden cross. And we said that a golden cross is a point in the market when a small moving average crosses a big moving average. And let me balance my chart so that everybody can see, so that you don't say I was not around it, I was not told it, and I'm not a kangaroo teacher. Me, I'm teaching something practical. And I'm going to show you this in the history of Bitcoin. I'm going to show you this in the history of Bitcoin, how it has been and how it has behaved. So let me minimize my screen. Okay. The orange line is which moving average? Some answers in the chat. The orange is which moving average? Some answers in the chat. The orange is which moving average? Some answers in the chat. And the blue is which average? Some answers in the chat. The blue is which moving average? Some answers in the chat. The blue is which moving average? Yes, the orange is 200. Okay, good. The orange is 200 and the blue is 20. Good, good, good. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. All right. Now I have a question. Can we all see points? Can we see this point here and this point here? Some answers in the chat. Answers in the chat. Some answers in the chat. Now this is basically, why is my cursor getting annoyed? Basically, this was the golden cross. This was a golden one. And this happened in September 2023. In September 2023. And since it has happened, let me price range. Bitcoin, some of you always just talk from here. Bitcoin has gone as high as 192%. I have a question. Are we wrong when we say we are on an uptrend? Some answers in the chat. Are we wrong when we say that we are on an uptrend? Give me some answers in the chat. Give me some answers in the chat. Are we wrong? See? Now let me show you when it happened. Someone is saying my network is very bad. Is my network available? Am I clear? Someone is saying my network is very bad. Am I clear? I'm clear. Okay. Now let me go back to history. You know, the market operates with history. And I'm going to show you these moves on how they happened in the past, and so that you can see. Because what happens with the crypto markets is that history. Let me get my rubber. Clear off. Okay. This point, because the market just repeats has ever done in the past. This point was a major golden cross here, and this happened in May 2020. This was the last bull run. You know, people have talked a lot. This was the first bull run. This was the last bull run. And at first, Bitcoin skyrocketed from yes. And at first, Bitcoin went as high as 600. 600. You see, Bitcoin went as high as 600 and 663%. And it went down a little bit. And then it formed a second golden cross. Like we are going to get the second one. This was the first, then the market went down. And in 2021, Bitcoin gave a second rise. and it up to a new high where we saw Bitcoin at $69,000. This was the bull run of 2020, 2021. That's why we say, let me show you. That's why we say that the market has finished the first bull run of 2024. Give me one in the chat if I'm clear. Now we expect the second bull run of 2025. Am I clear now? People were crazy. The bull run has ended. We have finished it. Oh, lo, 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 lo. We are done. We are lo, lo, no. No, they are everywhere because they are attached to the market. The market is going to repeat what it does in the past. And basically, the consolidation that is happening right now in the market for the second time now, the Bitcoin miners are now selling. Okay, the Bitcoin miners are now selling, and we could see a small cross to the downside a little bit. Then after Bitcoin is going to give us a minimum of $200,000. And I can also base this to show you facts. We have different tools that can help us predict Bitcoin prices. Let me just pull one just for understanding, and I will bring the Fibonacci extension, the Fib extension, just for learning. This is an indicator. Now let me use a tool. Let me use a tool. Let me bring the Fib tool, the Fib extension. Okay. Yes, my Fib extension, if I take it from the crossover here to the high, which is the highest point, to the downward movement of BTC, and these are price prediction. Okay, if the market does 100% from where it is, okay, from where it is, Bitcoin's next price will be here. Percent is around $97,000, which is close to 100,000 if we round off to the next figure. If the market, the highest price it can go, that's why people predict all these prices. For example, this one, 161%. So these are the market dynamics. That's why people see Bitcoin could go up to $250,000, go up to $200,000 or 150. Why? Because most investors invest in these round figures. So we still have a very long journey to go. That's why recently I bought a new bag. Yes, I bought a new bag, and I said, yes, new bag, very good, very good. Okay, new, yes, I bought a new bag so that in the second run of Bitcoin, yes, because Bitcoin is gonna form the second run, and yes, it will be massive, massive. Okay, so you see now, when also the death cross happens, like in 2022, we had a death cross, friends. Now you can see it here. You can see it here. When the 20 moving average crossed a 200 moving average, my friends, we have not yet, we took long. This was 20, this was when? This was 2022. And Bitcoin went as low as $15,000. And from here, we had this golden cross, and Bitcoin went as high as $73,000. So this was an uptrend. Now we are getting a retracement to the downside, and then the journey continues. As simple as that. Yes, we are getting a retracement to the downside. Ah! Woo! Guys, this coin is going to do well. Let me show it to you. Let me show it to you. So none of you misses 50% take profit. This is a free token I want to give. 50%, 30%. There is something. I've seen some news around it. So let's open it. Just for today, then I come to the end of my call. You know, some people just talk, but us who live by action. Can you see what happened here? Can you see this golden cross? Can you see this golden cross? Because this coin is about to kill us with money. I'm in and I'm not leaving this coin. Can you see this golden cross that happened here? And how much this coin delivered? Don't joke with golden crosses. Let me tell you. This coin is going to do well. It has big news around it. And if you want to make some profit, I can give you a sure deal. This is in one day. Long-term traders, if you want to go in here, I'm telling you, I've seen news around it. There is a 25%. Okay, those you have fear, go and take 15. Go enter current price. Just be patient. Take 15%. Just be patient with this coin. But let's look at this golden cross here. If you had seen this golden cross on Sun and you stayed in the market, I told you enter at the golden cross. I know some of you don't understand mathematics. 190% of your capital. Let me say you had $1,000 in this coin. $1,000. This is how crypto changes life. And it goes high as far as 190%. That is, on your $1,000, you make $1,900 in profit. On your 1,000, you make $1,900 in profit. That's why I say capital is key, because if you had $10,000 in the same coin times 190%, this could have turned to $19,000. This only happens in crypto. This only happens in crypto. I've told you this coin is going to go up. Why? Because I just focus on the golden cross here, still stay in the trade to avoid myself selling very early. Now let me use another pair of moving averages and then come to the end of my call. You can press it in 4 hours. You can still press it in 4 hours, and it's making a very nice consolidation. So I got in, let me say I got in from here. I will not get out until I see the death cross, but the coin is still very good. Very good trade. And then people say money is not free. In the 21st century, making money. If you want to do scalping, you go in 30 minutes. You want to make consistent entries and exits. It's simple. You can use 30 minutes time frame. 30 minutes, 15 minutes time frame. You enter at a golden cross, you leave. Let me increase my chart. And if you are using our formula, because the golden cross here is about to happen again, you can use this to be your trading aspect. Okay. Okay. So, you entered that round here. If you are taking your 3%, this was a 7%, but a 3%, if you are taking our 3%, you are good to go. You entered again here. If you are taking our 3%, you just use this as the formula. You entered at the golden cross here. You took your 3%. You are waiting for the golden cross here. Here, all you can change in a lower time frame, like 15 minutes. Or you can go in like in 5 minutes, because the lower the time frame, the faster. Has the golden cross happened here? Has the golden cross happened? Some answers in the chat. I'm using a 20 and 200 moving average. Has the golden cross happened? Some answers in the chat. Has the golden cross happened? And if you are good with our recent classes of support and resistance, this is where now added knowledge comes in. You remember what we discussed from the current price, the highest price where the market was resisted is above there. So I drew there my horizontal line. I will take that. Now the golden cross happens here. In 5 minutes, I make my entry. 10%. But I can take 3%. And if I had taken 3%, I'm out. I still trade. I can stay in this coin because it is going to bring money. I've seen the news already around it. Is this hardy? Is this hardy? You just trade and with patience. Is this hardy? Is this hardy? Is this hardy? Trading is hardy. Trading is hardy. Is this hard? Now let's go to Royal. Someone is saying it is very hard. Suffocate. You know, when you have a wrong mindset, even if they give you the right information, it lands on a wall. If you have a wrong mindset and they give you right information, it lands. Hey, guys, what were you doing at night? Hey, woo! You were making money. Rambata, pongolo, maringo, linguana. You see, when you see money, even the grandfathers of your clan appear. Linguana, you discover you knew another language. You knew another language. Shingoni, malungunu. That's when you discover. When you find the money for night, you go back to, you discover you knew another language, that you came from somewhere. You discover that you know another language. Singwai. So in the morning, 1.2 million. Plingala. Then I don't understand where I come from. Okay, let me go to Royal Q now. If not Royal Q, me are no good. Now there are people here who slept for free. They slept for free. They slept for free. Yes, there are people here. They were in blanket. They slept for free. How naughty, I will not do like you. It is a bad business. And you slept for free. And now someone finds you in a nice place, chilling. Someone finds you in a nice place, taking a very expensive drink, looking at how the crowds are moving. Then they say, that boy is a scammer. That boy is a scammer. That boy is a thief. That boy steals the money. Me, I know him. He comes from our village. They see you enjoying your SC. You have good music. He's a scammer. He does nothing. We know him. We understand him. Then they talk a lot of nonsense around you. He went in the water. He's Illuminati. He went in the water. I know his grandfather. He's the uncle. Me, I know him. How do you know me? Yet for you, you don't get paid while you are sleeping. How do you know me? How do you know me? I know him. I know his mother. He was our neighbor. His mother is our neighbor. They come from the same village. How do you know me? Yet for you, you don't get paid while you are sleeping. You are even now in a taxi going for work. I'm home. You are even in a taxi going for work. You are running here and there. And then you say you know me. Stop deceiving people that you know me. You don't know me, because for you, you sleep for free. Now, let me go to the chart. Okay? Let's start with the most performing coin in our chart, and that is VTEN. In the 15-minute time frame, can we see the golden cross here? Can we see the golden cross here? This is a 7 moving average being crossed by the 7 moving average crossing a 99 moving average. Can we see a golden cross here? Give me an answer in the chat. So this was an entry in the market. Next, can we see another golden cross here? Another golden cross here, still in the 15 minutes. where the 7 moving average crossed a 25 moving average. This is 99. This one is 25. Can we see the golden cross here? Can we see the golden cross? That was another entry in the market. Now let me go to 4 hours and show you more. Can we see? Can we see a golden cross there? Can we see a golden cross? Can we see a golden cross there? Can we see another golden cross here? That's how you enter the market. Can we find another coin? Let's pick the most negative. Floki, Rain. Can we see a golden cross here? Some answers in the chat. Give me a 2. Can you say golden cross? Can we say golden cross? That's where you were making your entry in the market. Can we see a death cross here? Can we see a death cross here? Give me a 3 in the chat if you can see the death cross, a 3. Give me a 3 in the chat. Can you say death cross? Okay, so let's find another coin. So this is in 4 hours. What if we try in 15 minutes? Can we see a golden cross here? Whereby a 7 moving average crosses a 25 in the 15 minutes time frame. That is an entry in the market. Can you say golden cross? Give me a 5 in the chat if you can see. Give me a 5 in the chat if you can see. Give me a 5 in the chat. Is this hard? Is this hard, D? Is this hard to see? Then people suffer with the poverty. Why do you suffer? You just lack knowledge. How do you get employed in the 21st century? Even you brag that you have a job. Someone comes to you. You see, I'm a doctor. I work in this clinic. Me, my medical skills help me to treat for treating my family members, not for money. I don't sell my time. I use my time to make my money. Can we see a death cross here? I'm going to talk about a rainbow, then come to the end of my call. Can we see a death cross here in the 15 minutes time frame? It means no entry. But can we see that a golden cross is about to happen here? Can we see that a golden cross is about to happen here? Give me a 6 in the chat if you can see. So here, once the golden cross happens, you make your entry. I told you in 15 minutes, you take 1.2, 1.3, maximum 1.5. If you choose a coin in the 4 hours, like here, take 3% to 5%. Simple as that. Then me want, you told you I can sleep hungry. With this, how can I? 15 minutes, I'm making scalping. Okay, can we see a death cross here? Can we see a death cross here? It means the market's going to go down. Can we see a golden cross here? You know, these things are as simple as that. Death cross, enter. Golden cross, go away from the market. Now, trading is hard. Trading is hard. Dogs are here. They are barking. Let me reduce to 5 minutes. Dogs are here. They are barking. Do we see a golden cross in the 5 minutes time frame here? 5 minutes, you can take 1.2, 1.3. The dogs are barking. Can we say golden cross? Some answers in the chat, or I go. Some answers in the chat, or I go. You don't do any setting. You don't do any setting. They're already there for you in your royal queue. In royal queue, there is a 7 moving average, a 25, and a 99. They are there for you. You don't do anything. You just open your eyes, unless you are blind. Just when someone tells me, I will suffer with poverty. With who? With who? You suffer poverty with who? Yes, current price. You can always, who can say golden cross happening right now in front of your eyes at MBox? MBox. Can you say golden cross at M? Enter. Take your 1.5. If not lawyer you, me I no go do this crypto business, me I no go do. If not lawyer you, me I no go do this crypto business, me I no go do. If it is lawyer you, me I go do this crypto business, me I go do. Now here they say I have juju. If it is royal cube, me I go do this crypto business, me I go do. Then they say I have. People say that I have my embe. When you have this robot, it is you have a jembe. No, Kenneth, I'm not playing. This is real business. Kenneth, don't you see the golden cross in front of your eyes? Mukwaya Wycliffe, if you have a Royal Q robot, you don't need this on your graph. It is automatic. It is there for you. Just tap in the link in my bio. Tap on phone number, come to my WhatsApp. I give you this app. You get it with $120. I can do this. I can select this coin and I trade. It is here. How many of you see that this coin has been on a downward trend? Give me one in the chat if you can say downward trend. Then a golden cross happens. The market is going to go up. As simple as eating as simple as eating what? Bijanjalo. Money. Let me leave Emo box with the piece. Now I can come here, pick any coin. Where are you, Raya? Hey, who can see money? The coin has been on a downtrend, then it forms a golden cross. I don't even understand you. If you don't see money, I don't even understand you. Free money. Money. People are not seeing. Free man. Require if you don't have loyal children, that is the challenge. You tap money. Let me open TRB. Now, someone who entered from here, they have taken a profit. Now, this is a death cross. Am I making sense for people who are asking me about the death cross? You are using a 25 and a 7. You are using a 25 and a 7. But if it is 100 and a 7, the trade will be stronger. Can you see? If you use a bigger time frame, the trade will be stronger. So if you don't want to trade in a lower time frame, you can always find them in a bigger time frame. If your goal is to take like 3%, you look for these golden crosses and you make money. Peacefully, calmly, magophenically, tangule, ninkalabalale, ningule. Who brought Renda back? Renda was delisted. All I'm dreaming. Akuro. Yeah, Akuro, you are there, Akuroing. You are there, Akuroing, Akuro. My favorite coin, 1,000 sats. Good morning, sir. How are you? How are you? 1,000 sats. It is now going down. It is no cross anyway. I hope my lesson ends here. I have taught enough. Never use one indicator for your trading experience. I want to repeat that in this phenomenal order, where this one is here, this one is here, and this one here, this coin is on a downward trend. Versa V, Versa V, Versa V, this is a 99, a 25, and a 7. This coin is on an uptrend. I would basically say that it could be important that as you want to choose coins that you want to trade, look for coins that on an uptrend, then they later form a golden cross. I don't know if I'm clear. I don't know if I'm clear. Coins that are on an uptrend and then they later form a golden cross. Give me one in the chat if I'm clear. For example, let me look for coins like Floki. This one is on a downtrend, but on an uptrend in the 4-hour time frame. On a downtrend, Floki. But for example, there were dogs here. Look at them in 15 minutes. But still, this does not prevent you from trading, because at this golden cross, you can still use a 25 and a 7 to still enter the market. Okay, so you should not get scared about that also. Okay, but on Monday, I'll add in more indicators like volume. I'll add in more indicators like RSI. I'll add in more indicators on Monday like the Bollinger Bands, the MACD, to help you always make an informed decision. Today, I've talked about moving averages, and you may not trade, but you may just come into these charts and just look at them and see how the market behaves when you tap on MA, the moving averages, and see how much you can change your life by just a simple concept. With that said and done, I would like to Kantampolikale and Bolingale say thank you so much for attending our training for today. My name is Wealth Coach Julius. You could find this training seated onto our YouTube channel, The Crypto Ambassadors. And